Hey everyone, welcome to another $1,000 strap search. I've got my $1,000 in singles here and I'm about to show you what I found. But before I do, let's talk about this week's tip. Now, you'll notice that there's a lot of spring in these bills. Now, one of the ways to get rid of that is to press your bills. And I don't mean by going like this with your bills. I mean, you want to put something heavy on your notes and leave them that way for at least 24 hours, if not 2 days, just to compress the notes and just to kind of get them back into the shape. Because there's nothing more annoying than when you try to go through notes and they're all fanning out like this. And even this is greatly reduced compared to what it was. But you can see that when you compress them, it's much easier to go through notes that are like these. One of the other things you have to watch for is the folded corners. So you kind of want to pay attention to that to see if the corners are folded or not. And of course, when it comes to using a book, well, I found a use for one of my coin books. I will use my gigantic red book. Some of you may think this is actually worth money. Maybe it is. I don't even know. It's a first edition. First edition, the official red book, first edition guidebook, United States Coins, deluxe edition. I don't know what edition they're on now. There's all kinds of color-coded stuff in here. I don't know. I know it's like the heaviest book I own. So just as an example, when you put these on here, you can't even see now how compressed one side will be to the other. And you leave it that way for a day, and you'll see that you gain almost a full strap when you start compressing them. Anyway, it's a good idea to compress them. That smooths them out a little bit, gets them more manageable. You'll also encounter notes where people have literally had these folded in half in their pocket. People that are selling tickets and stuff tend to carry a lot of singles, and that helps get rid of those folds, because the line in the bill may be permanent, but the actual bend itself can be straightened. All right, let's get those out of the way and take a look at what I found this week. First of all, I've got an interesting stamp. At a glance, this looks very crisp and clean, and it looks like that's a printing error. It's not. Let's look at it real close. That is definitely not a printing error. What that is just a counter stamp. That's all. A counter stamp over one of the straps. It was partially blocked, but yeah, nothing fancy there. I figured I'd show it because a lot of people would see that and think they've got some gigantic error. No, not the case. Just a counter stamp. Nothing worth saving there. This was interesting. This currency will not be used to pay for the services of the trafficked or the otherwise oppressed and exploited. You're right. This one certainly will not, because it's $1. They should be stamping this on 20s and 50s and hundreds, not singles, if they really want to get their message out there. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that they are correct. This is not going to be spent on anything like that because, well, it's $1. Anyway, interesting note. Once again, anytime I find a note, I tend to show it. I did find some trinaries, 2s, 3s, and 7s. So close to here. We'll just cross this last one off, and now it's a radar. No. An almost radar, and that makes it almost collectible. So we'll just file it away as a trinary. What do I got here? 3s, 4s, and 7s on this one. 0s, 2s, and 8s. 1s, 6s, and 9s. 1s, 3s, and 4s. 0s, 1s, and 8s. And then we've got quads. Now, this could have been really cool. 7100007, if that was 71, that would be kept as bookends, and that's how you collect bookends, when there's something interesting in the middle to match them up. That would also make it it would also be a trinary, 0s, 1s, and 7s at that particular case as well. But yeah, no, just quad 0s on that one. Quad 1s in a trinary, 1s, 2s, and 4s. Quad 3s on this one. This one starts off with quad 5s, older note too, 2006. Quad 6s. Another quad 6s. And then I found 5 of a kind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones to start this note. That's cool. I don't see 5 of a kind too often. I do see 5 of a kind, just not very often. It's very rare that I find the 6 of a kind, and I've only done 7 of a kind once. So 5 of a kind, when they're all together, that's great. Did find some stars. 2017 star. Always checking to see if it's a filled star. Another 2017 star note. 2013, 2009 star note, another 2009, really rough shape though. This one's been folded up quite a bit. Then the older notes, I found a 2001, another 2001, slightly better condition, slightly. 1999, a little bit of a counter stamp there, also in rough shape. Another 99, a little bit better. This 99 is about the same. Big old dog ear on that corner. See if we can't unfold that. Another 99, a little bit better shape on this one. Another 99. And a semi-decent 99 compared to the rest of them. Decent paper quality on this one. 1988A, checking to see if it's a web note. Nope, just a regular note. Another 1988A, not a web note. It is an I note. I always get excited finding those because there just doesn't seem to be a whole lot of them. This note has seen some things. This one is rough. Let me just set this other one down here. This one is in, yeah, that's a limp. It has been washed I don't know how many times. You can barely make out the year, 1977A, and it's a Boston note. And look at the back. I mean, that is just, this has seen some stuff. It's almost a yellow hue. It's been washed so many times. So yeah, that one, and just to make sure they wrote on it, just in case. I mean, even the paper has split, so you only have half the layer of paper there. It's almost fascinating to check out this note as it is to check out a crisp one, just to see how much these notes can take. And finally, the best note I found in this one, I found a binary, 1s and 2s. That is cool. You don't see binaries very often, so I was excited to find this one. 1s and 2s for a binary. So those were my finds this week. What did I pull out? Well, I pulled out a note that I purchased for the wrong reasons. I still find it very cool, but I bought it for all the wrong reasons. And let me show you and see if this triggers anything in your head. This is what I saw at auction. Got it? You've got the image? Okay, now I'm gonna pull that away. Now that you've seen that image, like I saw in the auction, tell me it's not one of these. Tell me it didn't look like that. Or if I turn the page, tell me it didn't look like that. I thought this was a treasury note from 1812. And when I glanced really quickly, I spotted the date, which was 1814, and I thought, wow, this might be actually one of those treasury notes. And I bid on it before I could do any research on it because the auction was ending on it. I did manage to get it, but it is not a treasury note from 1812, unfortunately. What is it? Well, this basically is a check, and it's a check for a very specific amount. It's not like this person was able to write out the check for anything. It says, the Manufacturers Exchange Company promises to pay C. Mitchell or bearer $3 out of joint funds thereof and no other on demand at their office of deposit in the city of New York. And it was signed in Bristol, Connecticut. Check out the date there. September 13th, 1814. It has a handwritten check number, handwritten date, signed by the cashier. Now this, I don't know if that's actually a signature because it looks very similar here, but this is the signature for sure. This is just really impressive. You can tell, look at the ink here, how brown it is compared to this. So I think this was literally printed on there. But this is signed because you can see it oxidizing, just like you can see the color of the date and the color of the number. All of that stuff oxidizing the same way. The check has been signed. I think that's Roy Armstrong is what it says on the back. Now, I don't know what I'm more impressed with. Everybody's calligraphy with their handwriting, because my handwriting was never that cool. My handwriting is disastrous. But I mean, that's calligraphy, and you can see the type of pen that was used, how this swoop is wider than that line. That lets you know the type of pen that was actually used on this. Now, I thought this was fascinating because it is a $3 note. Okay, 3 Roman numeral 3 here, 3 over here, 3 right there, and I'm always fascinated by $3 bills. Granted, this one is just a check. It is a $3 check that could only be made out for $3 from 1814. So that is pretty cool. And you can check out the top there. You have the figure. You've got, looks like a little factory in the back. Don't know what kind. But yeah, that really got my attention when I saw it. I was fascinated by it, and I decided I was going to pick it up. Like I said, I thought it looked a lot like those War of 1812 checks, but I'm not disappointed in this at all. If you learned anything new this week, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like what you see and you want to see more, please subscribe. I love reading your comments. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.